Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and thank you for watching all my crafty videos in the past. And if you're new, welcome. It is Thursday, June 18, just for a frame of reference there. My name's Katrina, I'm in Australia, and I am talking about my crocheting makes today. I think that's all I had to say. This is the third time I have tried to do this podcast today. The first time my kitten came behind and knocked over the lovely stand I've got going on here, which was a pain. And it was like just after I'd done my intro to say who I was and where I'm from and what I'm doing. And then again, my older cat came through and knocked over. I have a reflective surface behind just so I can see and make sure everything's in frame. And he knocked that. So everything's gone toppling. Third time, then I've thought I hit record and I didn't, and I've gotten like 10 minutes into talking and there's nothing happening. Anyway, so all good. Welcome. So it's been about 3 weeks since my last video, and I'm just going to say that I've been overwhelmed. So I've been overwhelmed with everything that has been people have been talking about. If I could get my words out, that would help. So everyone's been talking about Black Lives Matter currently, and they should be receiving the same amount of respect and equality that white lives receive, and every other colour of person out there. So I think what I'm just going to say is that because I am a white middle class woman, that it's not my voice that you need to hear. And it's not my opinion that needs to be voiced. It's just that I'm going to say that I do support what is being talked about in the US currently, the Australian protests that are currently happening as well, in regards to the Black Indigenous Australian community are also happening. I don't know if that's received any sort of international media or if anyone knows about that, but anyone who lives in Australia will know that that has been happening in Sydney and Melbourne. So it was just crazy for me because there was so much information happening. There was obviously deaths happening as well of some people in our communities, and it's kind of frightening to know that all the fear and all the atmosphere, the tension is the word I'm looking for, tension and fear that has happened because of COVID and because of things that we don't know about as well are going to impact what's happening now in these movements as well. I think it's hard to separate them at the minute because they are both happening concurrently, unfortunately. And that's just the sociologist in me coming out and saying that. So whilst I think these protests are extremely important and are validated, don't get me wrong, I just think that there's a lot of things happening, like extremes are happening, maybe. I don't know. But that's the thing. It's not my voice that's important for people to look at and seek out. So I'm just going to say, yep. And the coronavirus is currently happening as well in the world, and COVID-19, which is the coronavirus. So in Australia, and I'm in New South Wales, one of the states, so we have gone back to a more open and we can mobile state, like we're allowed to go out. We're not allowed to travel between the states. We're locked down in our states. I think ACT can get out into New South Wales, but that's because it's relatively small, very tiny. And we're not allowed to have gatherings of over 10, I think, in a house, or that might have been lifted as of this week as well. But restaurants, pubs, clubs, shopping centres, all of that sort of thing have opened this week. There is limits. It's something like 50 people per room, but they also have to keep to the 4 metre squared rule. So it's one person per every 4 metre squared. So hairdressers, beauticians and all that sort of thing have opened up this week. And we're seeing more and more people venturing out, which is nice for some people to be able to go see elderly relatives that have been in nursing homes and things like that. They're sort of allowing one person to go visit at any given time, and then it's like a wash down, clean, and all the hygiene stuff. And now the clouds have come out and it's gone overcast, so I apologize, but I am just going to click this button just so I can make sure that you can see me. Yep. So yeah, that is just sort of like where we're at the moment. And I just got super inundated with all the information, and I reverted to my crocheting. So I've been super, super productive. I have made and I have finished objects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 finished objects. And a lot of them are smaller, don't get me wrong, but they're not all tiny. So I'm super impressed with myself, really. So I'm going to start off with the things that I made first and then work my way up to the new stuff. I've got my iPad so that I can show you pictures, because some of the stuff is gifts. My son has his beanie on today at school and my husband has a beanie on at work. We are in, well, we're in autumn, but where I live, it's hot or cold. So when it's hot, it's 40 degrees Celsius, and when it's cold, it's minus 10 degrees Celsius. Where normally we get quite a nice autumn where it's warm days and just cold nights, frost. But this year it's just been cold. But we are in for a wet season. So we have had more rain than we've had in the past 2 years for winter, which is nice because we're in a drought. You know, lots of things happening. We get all the extremes, bushfires, floods, and all the rest of it. It's a pretty harsh place to live apart. We know this. But yeah, so beanies are definitely something that we've been utilizing, and my kids needed new ones. So what I did was I found a free pattern that I could use multiple times, and I made the simple seed stitch beanie. And this is my son's one. So this is a small child size, and they do come in multiple sizes. So this one is in, I'm just going to get it, Lion's Pride Wool Spun by Lion Brand. I'm pretty sure this color is royal blue. So that is my eldest son's, and I took one ball it took to make that. Now I'll tell you, so funny. I started making it with my one ball and I just kept going, and I thought, I only bought one, I'm not going to buy two. If I need a second one, I'll, you know, all good. I literally used the whole ball because I was running short. I was 2 rows short, which is the little bit of ribbing that goes around the edge of the pattern. So that one doesn't have a ribbing edge, but it just ends on the back loop stitches. So it gives a texture and it looks really nice, and I'm really happy with it. Then my other son, this is his one. You can see that it has 2 extra rows. So I only used one ball for his as well, and it's the same size, but just in this red, there must have been maybe 5 grams to 10 grams more just as an extra in this ball. Both Lion's Pride Wool Spun. So go figure. And then what color was his in? I can tell you that. It was in tomato, so it's in a bright red. And then my husband's one was in the same yarn again. His is more of a brown color. So his is in the rust, it's called. This was the only... So that is the extra large size. I was the men's version, and I used 1.4 skein. So you need 2 skeins to make it, or 1 and a bit if you've got scraps. These ones are super easy to follow. And my husband, where he works, he has someone that works, I wouldn't say he's like a boss, he works like alongside him, and he was having a rough day. Just after my last podcast, it was like the Friday, and it was after work actually. He got home and was having a rough afternoon. Work stuff was following home, and they were on the phone to each other. It was on loudspeaker, and then I said to my husband, ask him if he wants a beanie, because I'm making them and I'm whipping them out real quick, and I'm super happy with how they look. And he said to me, yeah, I'd definitely love one, thank you. So I used this, which is Veronica. I had this, I don't know what I bought it for. I may have bought the grey, not the black. I bought grey for when I made my husband's one. I wasn't sure what colour he'd like. So I already had grey in my stash. I don't have a photo of his one before I sent it, unfortunately. It's I only have a photo of him wearing it, and I haven't asked him his permission if he can be posted here on YouTube, be a YouTube star. So his one was made, he loved it, and then his son and his wife asked if they could have some. So this is black, and I used this to make one in the extra large men's as well for his son. And these are all on my Ravelry. Oh, sorry. These are all on my Ravelry. So you can see them there if you want to go have a look more in depth and see how much yarn I've used, all of that stuff. And then for his wife, I used wool spun again, but I used this awesome tonal variegated color. And now my dog's barking in the background. I apologize, he will stop. It's my postie. He doesn't like the postie. Postman, postwoman, post people, sorry. In case you don't know the lingo. So that's what it looks like. And I think it looks really nice. She was really chuffed with it. So they had this really awesome time when I gave them the son and the wife their beanies. They all had this night where they were trying them on and taking selfies in them, and they were really happy. They rung me and they were chuffed. So I'm super happy. So I made 6 beanies in total, and then I got procrastinating and I was like, I should be working on my husband's blanket, and I didn't really want to. I wasn't feeling it. I'm not really fast with blankets. I think it's the fact that it gets a bit monotonous. I'm like halfway into it and I can see that I'm working towards getting it finished. Like you can see it growing. And the first half is like just a speed to get it done. But then you get to a point where it's like you gotta get over the hump. Just gotta get over. And I'm just not there yet. So I haven't got it here to show because I think I've done 1 row in the last 3 weeks, possibly that. And my kitten has been at my yarn for it, my wool that I'm using. And I think I've got to rejoin everything again. So I made the Ebb and Flow pullover, and it's by Naturally Nora on Ravelry. And I had it in my queue for a while now. I saw it come up in my highlights and I really liked it. So this is me wearing it. I'm going to show you a picture of that first. So it is in a beautiful mustard color. Yep. And I used 4 Seasons Spot Saver in the USA style. And this is in the colorway Pumpkin. This one's from Spotlight. I don't know if I just said that. It's a 10-ply, 312 meters per ball, and it's a 200 gram ball. I used 3.5 of these. I had 5 put aside for another cardigan project, and I changed my mind. I made a cardigan for somebody else. It was kind of over. I didn't want to remake the cardigan again straight away. I thought I'd give it some time. Then I changed my mind. So it is amazing. I did just find one little loose end I've got to do. That's all right. So it's got a little button on the side, a white one. I've lengthened the sleeves, but otherwise made exactly to pattern. And the pattern's really good, really simple. I didn't have 12 ply yarn, so the pattern requires 12 ply. This is 10, and I held 2 strands together, which I know doesn't make 12 ply. It actually makes a larger ply. But I held them together and I used a 9mm hook. I think it was a 9 and a 10mm hook to make it. And the gauge worked out really well regardless. So it all worked out quite well. The only thing is that it's a little stiff. It's not drapey. It is acrylic, 100% acrylic. So I wore it the day after I made it. So I'm thinking what I'm gonna do is wash it on a gentle wash and then put it in the dryer on their like gentle setting and slowly dry it, and then hopefully it'll soften up a lot as well, which might give it a little bit of drape, and I think that'll look a lot nicer, but I just haven't done it yet. I'm always hesitant to wash them. I don't know why. I'm always hesitant to wash my makes because I don't want all the ends to come out and find out that I haven't done things well enough, and yeah, there's always something that I'm a bit nervous about. So that's the other one that I made. And then I finished my Harvest Moon shawl. And I showed this last week and I was super excited about it because I was gifted this in the Yarn Wishes Granted, Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted hashtag on Instagram. It's a giveaway. You give things to somebody else and then you put up your wishes and somebody can grant you wishes, and you're always being kind and giving something to somebody else before you're thinking about yourself, and it's getting that thought in there. So Rosina from Zines and Roger put out a call in the 2018 version in November and said, would anyone like my patterns? If you do, the first 5 to comment gets a pattern. Pick which one you like, let me know and I'll send it to you on Ravelry. And I was like, I would love it, please. So, because I watch her podcast and she's really lovely and she makes amazing patterns. And I picked the Harvest Moon, and I had made it last week and I had showed you, and I had said that I was a bit unsure about the first couple of rows. So I unpicked, frogged the first like 20 rows and then started again and remade it. It turns out my stitch count was off in this little foundation-y bit here, but I have it made. And I have blocked it and I've washed it, so it smells like, I've got wool wash and it smells like lavender. So it smells like sheep and lavender, which is really nice. So, and I'm going to show you it roughly. I've just draped it in my photos on Ravelry. I've got to update them, but so that's what it looks like all wrapped up. So it's called Harvest Moon Shawl. No, it's just called Harvest Moon, sorry, on Ravelry. I just always add in the shawl for some reason. I used Australian merino wool from Bendigo Woolen Mills. I think I've shown these before. They come in 200-gram hanks. This is what I've got left of the cream. So it's 4-ply in their Luxury Sweetheart base. This is the champagne colorway. So in a 200-gram ball, you get 720 meters as well. These, just as a reference for price, for wool, it's $15 for a full 200-gram skein. So I have 3/4 of this one left, and this is what I have left of my other big ball. It's about 50 grams. So I've used 3/4 of, I've used about 150 grams of this color, which is Sienna Kiss. And then I've used about 1/4 of the cream. Originally, I had planned to make, because there's different sizes in this one, different options. I did 2 colors, you can do 3. I picked the size, I was going to do the large with 2 colors, but I ended up going with the small and 2 colors because I wasn't sure how big it was, but it is plenty big. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And now that I've blocked it and it sits beautifully and flat and amazing, love it. Couldn't recommend it anymore. Definitely going to try more of Rosina's patterns for sure. So I finished that because I just got a bee in my bonnet about finishing off one of the shawls that I was working on. I think I had 3. I had this one, the Hotel of Bees, which I started, and something else. Oh, that's right. My hubby and I, when the restrictions lifted and we were allowed out to see friends, and it was like groups of 10 that we had to stay underneath. I think this was 2 weekends ago now. We went for a drive. So my kids stayed with my mum and had like a sleepover overnight. And me and my husband went and saw his friend and his partner. And they're about an hour, probably like an hour and a half away anyway. And they live right near a beach, so they overlook a beach. Now, we didn't go outside of the house. We ordered in food. We were doing all our precautions for COVID and everything like that. None of us had been sick or been around people who were sick, and most of us were working from home, and I'm not working at the moment, so it made it a little bit easier. Anyway, we had a fabulous time, and I made my husband stop on the way home at a yarn shop because I knew I wasn't going to get out for ages, and that's not the closest one to me, but the closest yarn shop Spotlight is about an hour and a half away, so it was really good to go, and I bought some yarn and I started a 3rd shawl with that. So I really wanted to finish one. I'm just like rambling because I'm excited to talk. So yes, I finished this shawl, And then I got out some yarn that I had stashed away that I didn't want to keep stashed away. So I made a velvet teddy bear. And it's just so cute. So I got, this is a free pattern on Pinterest. He's creating a shadow on my face. So free pattern on Pinterest. I think it's just called Velvet Teddy. And I've saved it on my Pinterest board as well, so I can go back. And it's just, you read the pattern off the blog. And it's a really cute pattern. My teddy did not work up to look exactly like the teddy in the pattern, but that doesn't matter. I still think it looks amazing. So it is the Kotopo brand of yarn that I can get in Spotlight. It's called Velvet Luxe. I don't have the ball band. This was all scraps left over from a amigurumi bunny I made a little bit ago. So I made that one. And I will put a link anyway in the bottom so that you can go back to this pattern regardless. And so if you want to make one yourself, then you can do that. So then I have these, which are some cotton washcloths. So I use a Spotlight pattern. I'll show you the pattern first. So Spotlight, it's cotton bamboo washcloth, which could be used as a washcloth, a face washer, a makeup removal pad, just a larger size version, whatever you'd like, which I liked. I just like the texture in it. It's got such a nice texture. So you make these go around the border because it's a free pattern, and then you create a handle towards the end as well. And it's just a good idea that you can pocket somewhere to dry. If you don't want to lay them flat, you can literally just let it dry wherever. So that's 2. And this was made out of the equivalent to this. So it was a 10, like a grey, I think it's a 10 ply recycled cotton that I had bought from Spotlight about a year ago, if not more. And I had made an amigurumi bunny or something like that out of it, which was really pretty. Anyway, it's been gifted, it's gone. And I bought it to try because it was on special. It was like $1 or $2 a ball. So I just bought it to try. And I liked the way the bunny looked, but then I couldn't get any more. So I knew that this is all I had. So that was the leftover to make the 2. And then I found this white. And so my plan is to make 2 more white. And then that can be like a set of 4. And I'm thinking I might sell those. So that will be awesome to be able to sell those and get a little bit of money from that. And I'll keep that pattern too as a one that I can regularly go back to and generate a little bit more, especially if I get a little bit of interest. Sometimes when I share things on my Facebook page and my friends kind of forget, out of sight, out of mind, they forget that I crochet. But when they see stuff like that, they'll ask me if I do want to make things, and then I get orders and things as well through that. I don't often take orders because I don't like to work to a time frame, but something like that, at least I know that I could do 1 to 2 in a night, just watching TV. I could probably do more if I really push myself, but I definitely could do them in a night when I sit down after putting the kids to bed. And then I've got another amigurumi. So I'm just opening this. It is a amigurumi doll off, I don't know why I'm talking down there. I need to be talking here. So off Pinterest. So it is a cute little bunny. And I found a ball of yarn. So it's a floppy, overall it's a floppy bunny, but it just sits really cute. I found this leftover, I'd say it's like a polyester acrylic, and it's soft. It's kind of like that feather yarn that you see, but it's short. It's not a long piece that comes off it. So it's the main thread and then like a soft, really soft long piece. And this was out of some stash that I was given. And as I keep saying in every video now, I've been going back to it and at least making one thing out of random bits and bobs. So there was this ball and I got to make the head, the ears, the body, the legs completely out of it. And I held it with a white 8-ply cotton. And so it was 2 strands held, double. And it just creates durability. So the soft polyester multicolored yarn, I don't think would have been structurally sound for like a child or someone to play with it, or even if you have to wash it later. So at least now I feel a bit better about giving this away to someone as well, which is really good. But then I ran out, and so the arms, I just did the little hands in the bluey multicolored on both sides. And then I've got this like velvet chenille type white. It's very soft and it's only for a couple of rows. And so that's just in there as well, which is really amazing and lovely. But just the way these ones, the way this came out, because it's not the recommended yarn, is I had to sew the arms on the back at like a bit of a V angle, as you can see. I think if it's all in the one color, you just go sort of along the back of the neck, but it wouldn't work. It would have to overlap and it'd look really messy. I tried it like that and I pulled it out and I just did it like this. I don't think it looks the neatest, but it's better, because if you're going to have it just sitting on a little shelf, that's the main bit you're going to see. And the ears are a bit floppy and movable and everything. And I really like it. I think it looks really nice. It was not for me. Like, it's not something that I would make for me to sit on my cupboards or drawers or anything. And my boys would just probably destroy it, to be honest. I do want to make the boys some more amigurumi toys and dolls and things, but this one I think will be something that I give away to someone. It's more in like a baby color, like a neutral. It's got blue and yellow and pinks through it. So I could definitely give it away to someone or sell it. So yeah, that's all I've made, but that pattern is free on Pinterest. It's just called the Velvet Bunny, I'm pretty sure. Velvet Bunny. I'm just checking in my Pinterest now so I can show people what it looks like. It's just called Velvet Bunny Amigurumi. It's a free crochet pattern, and people have taken photos and even shared what they've made from it. And that's what it looks like on Pinterest. And I've just tagged it. So I've made that twice, that pattern. And then the teddy bear that I had showed a little minute ago, that's on there as well. So that one I will show you as well. Is another free amigurumi one. So that one that's the teddy bear pattern. That's what it looks like. And I did see, now I can't get other colors in this velvet chenille sort of yarn near me. There's I'd have to search for it online, but I did tag this because it's so cute. There's a little fox just here in the corner, and it's so cute. So cute. So maybe one day. Itchy nose, sorry. It's my allergies. I've been vacuuming and dusting, so everything's sort of getting up my nose. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I have a huge amount of things that I completed. I have other stuff that I've been working on still to come, but I'm not going to make this a really excuse me, I'm not going to make it a really long episode, so I don't want to add all the whips and everything else that I've gotten, because I have gotten a little bit more yarn. I'm so guilty. I feel so bad because I didn't want to, and we don't really have the extra cash to be buying lots of extra yarn, but I did buy some. But that's okay, because I've got how many projects finished? I'm happy. So I will just show more of the whips next week, next episode instead, and yeah, I'll do it that way. Thank you for watching today. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs up on the video, that would be muchly appreciated, and then more people can find me here on the interwebs, sharing everything I make. So thanks guys, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.